Hey, what's going on everybody? My name's EpicsArchive, and today we will be slowing down the Battlefield 1 reveal trailer, taking a look at everything inside of it, and pulling out the main parts of it. So if you guys are ready for that, let's hop into it. Battlefield is taking a step in the direction the community has been asking for with Battlefield 1, and we will have the opportunity to get our hands on the first full copy as early as October 18, 2016, even though the worldwide set release date is October 21st. As you can see, Battlefield 1 sends the player back in time to the gut-wrenching World War I. To barely touch on how we know that this is what the community is looking forward to this fall, here's two images showing the amount of likes and dislikes on the Battlefield 1 official reveal trailer and a similar FPS game being released this fall as well. I believe as long as Battlefield 1 has a comparably smoother launch than Battlefield 4 and the content within the game holds up to the community standards, Battlefield 1 could pave the way for a World War II game a few years later down the line. After watching the trailer in full time, I'm super excited to dive in and slow it down to dissect all the information DICE and EA have provided us with. Moving on to the first scene of the game, this clip provides us with a fair amount of information. Let's take a look at the soldier on the ground who is about to be struck with a melee weapon. It is hard to tell, but I would say this is a German soldier due to the stick grenade on his back that was crafted by the Germans to use against vehicles. It is also referred to as the anti-tank grenade that consists of 6 grenades centered around one stick grenade to create a larger explosion. The soldier who is about to melee the German also provides us with some interesting information, as it may take at least 2 hits with the trench club to kill someone, and he is also wearing a gas mask, which is up to this point could just be cosmetic, but later on we will see mustard gas and the gas mask being put on. Also, we can see a couple barrage balloons in the background, but we'll touch on them in a minute. Here we have an open map that seems to pertain to the Lawrence of Arabia pack that is included with the deluxe edition of the game. Interestingly enough, this fighter looks like a woman, so we may have some interesting character customization on our hands. And here we have our first look at the air combat in Battlefield 1, and this plane that we are viewing is a British biplane noted by the insignia on the top left wing, and the mounted gun in the back is a Lewis machine gun. The soldier is sitting in a swivel seat to fire at most angles, and off in the distance there are many barrage balloons once again that were anchored to the ground by cables and often with wire netting suspended from it so that they could serve as an obstacle to low-flying enemy aircraft. Looking here, we can see a few more barrage balloons, and we see our third potential melee weapon of the game, which is a trench shovel. To the right of the shot, I do believe there is a machine gun in the lower corner, as it appears to be mounted at the end of a trench line, and it has a thick outer barrel. We can also see a shotgun in the hands of the soldier who is just smacked with the shovel, which may be included in the Hellfighter DLC pack. In this clip, we have our first shot of the Red Baron German Fokker triplane that appears to immediately blow up with the slow motion replay, compared to the next clip, which is the British biplane, and it appears to have stalled after the engine was shot out and crashes into the tower, where we can see a great deal of destruction. The tank in this clip appears to be a British Mark V, and the soldier on the left is carrying a Mauser 1918 T-Gur 13.2mm anti-tank rifle. We can also see that the sword is back, and it may be a melee weapon in the game. Horses can appear to be ridden as vehicles, and biplanes fly over the fighters charging into the battle. Pausing this clip, the pistol in the soldier's hand appears to be more square, and I feel as though it's safe to say this is a 1911 from the Hellfighter DLC pack as well. As he continues to run, there is another pause point where we can see how it forms in his hand, and it still appears to resemble a 1911. Here we catch a glimpse of the Lewis gun in action again. Mustard gas appears to stand in the way of him and his objective, and it may have even been the cause of the soldier's death in front of him if the bullets did not finish him off. Obviously though, it plays some crucial role in the game as the soldier proceeds to put on his gas mask as a precautionary measure. There is also a beautiful explosion off in the distance to the right. Here we have an armored personnel that appears to be firing a machine gun at troops charging a hill. It appears that the grenades could resemble the stick format we saw earlier, and there is also a flamethrower in the background that will make an appearance once again. Now we have another shot of the Red Baron Fokker triplane and a few barrage balloons, while also being able to see some beautiful explosions on the ground. This leads us into another shot of the British Mark V tank, and then into a similar but different vehicle that drives right over the trench line as our point of view is in. In this trench we can also see our first look at the mounted bayonet. The flamethrower reappears with a very interesting uniform, and we can also see barbed wire fencing that would indicate there are trenches nearby, and we may be back at the first scene from the trailer. If you blink, you may have missed a train rolling by that had mounted cannons that is traveling through the desert, and this next shot focuses on another style of flying mechanics that presents how the aircraft crashes may happen in Battlefield 1. We already saw that the triplane exploded the first time it was shot, then the British biplane appeared to drift from the skies and crash into the ground. And now we have another Red Baron Fokker triplane spinning out of control while losing altitude and crashing into the ocean after being chased by a biplane with rockets on the supports of the wings, only to end the camera panning out back to the battleship once more. This next shot ends with an aircraft crashing from the skies and erupting into a fiery explosion. Here we have an artillery barrage, and we can see the remnants of used ammunition while we have soldiers covering their ears with the loud impacts. For a split second we have a bolt-action rifle with a side-mounted scope, as this was very popular so snipers did not have to lift their heads up higher than they needed to see their targets. This shot right here makes me wonder if we will be able to customize our characters with what we please, or if they put on the pilot gear once they enter the aircraft. Also, the pilot flying out of the aircraft as it crashes into the ground does not appear to be dead, so we may be able to survive certain crashes. And leading into the final clip, we have a Zeppelin up in the air, which were used for light bombing, surveillance, and scaring people into fearing what was happening at the time of war. Anyway, I hope you guys are looking forward to Battlefield 1 as much as I am, and let me know if you noticed something I did not in the Battlefield 1 official reveal trailer that was released on May 6th. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like. It helps me out more than you know. If not, leave a dislike, and I'll see you in the next one.